Hello and welcome back to Super Trader TV. Just before the break, we were talking about the new design of websites and how marketing is evolving in the Forex industry. So joined with me today in the studio is Karin Zalcberg, CEO of Karinza. Hello, Karin.
Hi, how are you?
Good, nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
We were following on from our previous discussions, and you and I have discussed this particular evolution over the last few months of the whole sales process that goes from the digital marketing aspect right the way down through to the design of the website, to banner adverts, to sales teams within companies and lead generation. So really like to get your perspective on how the evolution of this has now changed and what's important for Forex companies around the world, bearing in mind that they're really changing the ethos of their digital campaigns.
So in 2015, we can see a lot of things are going in a different direction in terms of sales and marketing. For example, I can see from a broker to broker that I'm visiting, I can see lean operations, which is very smart, by the way.
I agree.
And why is that? Because it's very easy for the broker to remain on the right focus. So in 2015, there is a lot of changes in terms of sales and marketing. So years ago, 3 years ago or 2 years ago, we saw a lot of affiliates. The affiliation market is growing. And now these days, we can see different trends, which is media buying and also introducing brokers, IBs. That means that if you will work in localization, that means that you will target your salespeople, your sales team. You will work with a small sales team that is very targeted per country. And to work on friend referrals and IBs, you can be cost efficient. You can reduce your cost in terms of marketing. That means that you will not have to buy a lot of leads from affiliates sources or media buying, and you will establish your results based on a good personal relationship with those introducer brokers.
As you know, the biggest spend is marketing and sales in any online business.
That's
particularly
right.
This, because it's a very short, there's a high churn rate and there's a very high demand for retention, which is another difficult challenge. So investing in having a large sales team and then using a traditional style website where there's a lot of information, user information on the website, which the end user has to try and decipher, is a waste, because that particular team is too generic. It spans across too broad an area. It doesn't specialize in specific regions or specific requirements for each particular client. Do you think this is why companies are changing the designs of their websites and they're focusing more on affiliation rather than banner campaigns?
That's right. Listen, this is a very competitive market. And when you're selling finance, you're actually selling the dream and selling the help, the support, the dream of making money, and of course the broker, which will support you along the way to become a successful trader. Now, so you have to be different. You have to be unique, because everybody's selling the same. And also most of the brokers are generating leads from the same sources.
They are, yes.
Very identical sources sometimes.
Those leads are expensive to get the same leads as other companies are getting.
Right.
$800-900 per acquisition. Most of that cost is going to buy leads that everybody else has got anyway. So they're all competing over the same clients.
That's very accurate. And more than that, also the affiliates give you sometimes a very hard time on their side as well, because they want to work with brokers that they perform very good. They have a good performance. They want to work with stable brands. And sometimes the broker can't give this performance to the affiliates because maybe his sales team is not prepared enough how to approach the same leads that the other broker is approaching, but more professionally.
That's right.
Right? And sometimes they're giving you a hard time because they don't want to work with you, or they're sending you a very low quality of traffic, which is cannot meet the broker needs, or it comes to an expression in terms of lifetime value. The lifetime value is not stable, or it may not even cover your cost, your minimum marketing cost. But the most important thing to bear in mind, that if you want to be a healthy operation, we can see right now a trend that a lot of B-book operations are becoming an A-book operations.
They have been,
especially after the 15th of January.
Now kind of a hybrid between the two, somewhere between the two, A-book, and they've got some B-book risk management as well.
That's right. But what I can see after the middle of January, after the big crisis with the Swiss franc, a lot of broker is doing this transformation to become an e-book broker. But the most important thing that the marketing and the sales team have to be focused on one or two marketing sources. For example, introducer broker, IBs. IBs is very, very, very important. Mm-hmm. Why is that? First of all, the leads are not costing you a lot of money. And second of all, it's all about friend referrals and customer relation management. And if you know how to create these right platforms from introducer broker, he will work with you. And he will bring you a lot of traders in good terms and conditions, and above all, long-term traders.
Yes, and the thing is, I think that's right, but the difficulty is, although it's much more efficient, the difficulty is remunerating that IB and keeping him happy with his... some of them are companies, they have staff and salespeople, and especially in China and parts of Asia. So remunerating them and giving them a package which gives them enough of the actual, if you want to call it that, a piece of the action that will keep them satisfied and stop them going somewhere else when there isn't that much left because the spreads are low and the overheads are high. So even if they reduce a sales team down to very small and rely on IBs and have a large IB base that they remunerate high, surely that eventually this is expensive for the broker in itself. How do you manage the kind of capitalization of IBs and still keep it efficient?
You have to build for them the right platform. And I'm not talking about technology trading platform. I'm talking about another source of platform. What do I mean by that? First of all, it depends on the back office.
Right.
And of course, if they want most of the IBs, they don't have such a complicated request. Mm-hmm. They would like to trade on the metaphor. This is something which is very familiar, financial environment for them. So it's better for them, of course, to stay there and not to get messed with other technology that they are not familiar with. Everybody knows metaphor. Everybody's trading metaphor, and so they're in their natural environment. But you have to build a strong back office in localization. And trust me, that will cost the broker less than hiring a whole fat operation of sales team and spending basic salaries with large bonuses.
Yes, and that's very interesting.
Discipline problems, management requirements, micromanagement all the time. It's a micromanagement, and micromanagement is not so simple.
It's not. That's clever, because so what you're saying is that it's better to invest in building a separate platform for each region to suit IBs in specific regions and keep the sales team down. Invest in that type of technology rather than to pay large sales funnels that
go from online leads.
Yes,
because the competition is you have more than 1,650 active brokers, Forex brokers around the world. Add to that
just
another
in the retail sector.
Yes, add to that another hundreds of binary options operation.
Yeah.
That's a very tight competition. Everybody's selling the same.
It is.
In order to be distinguished, in order to lower your cost, hire a very lean operation of sales team, focus them in IBs, introducer brokers, be more attractive in terms of localization. Okay, you have to have partners in every country. They will minimize your cost, and of course teach and educate your sales team how to talk with high sales to IBs, to introducer broker, how to communicate with them better, how to give them all the things that they need in order to be successful, and you will get to traders trading on your platform for the next 3-5 years from now.
So that's brilliant, and I think that makes perfect sense. There's just one last question that I'd like to find out, really. So let's say I'm a retail company and I want to start myself up as a new retail brokerage, and I'm looking at my website design. Am I better off, do you think, having a very clean website design with some kind of graphic image and some very high resolution design to make the potential partners remember it, and keep the information away and just have partners programs on there, and that's it?
First of all, that's a very good thought, and I will tell you why. Because if you are selling financial products, so it's preferable for you to look as a financial company.
Yes.
That means maybe a white background on your website, very user-friendly website. The deposit channel on the website should be very easy for the end user to deposit the money without a lot of explanation, because if he is coming without any previous experience, it will be complicated for him to deposit, because he will have to think about it.
Yes.
Or maybe to consult with other people before he's doing the deposit.
So would you put the deposit part on the main part, or would you put it in the? Would you leave that to the part?
Very first.
Very first. Still stick to that.
Very first. Step 2 or 3. That's the deposit. But the most important thing is to remain the website very simple.
Yeah.
Simplicity. That's what people have to understand. The more that our world, our technology is becoming more advanced, the people are getting stuck.
That's right.
On our spot, and sometimes we need to think about it. We don't want to do it now. We're not sure. We have to consult before we're doing those processes, because it looks so complicated. It has to remain very clean, without a lot of colors, minimum information, maybe more videos on the website. Very easy deposit channel, step 1 or step 2. Don't do it in step 1, step 2 or step 3 will be fine.
Yeah.
And immediately after, and the most important thing is a very strong back office support. Back office, people that know how to deliver finance, people know how to deliver customer relation. That's the most important, because if you don't have that, you can have the most fancy website on earth, but it's not going to convert. And I know a lot of very advanced platforms that are not converting very good. Why is that? Because first of all, they try to be more sophisticated than other brokers. Big failure. It's not good.
I agree.
Keep it simple.
Simplicity,
this is the name of the game.
It is, and this is the direction we've seen a lot of them going. We've seen XNES go down this route. We've seen Spot Option take the very graphic-orientated site with important information on there, but minimalized. And this seems to be the general direction that I've noticed it going in. So that's interesting to know that from the inside you're seeing very much the same thing.
Yeah, and also for the end user, because I have a lot of experience with the end users, because I'm teaching,
Yes.
a lot of salespeople and marketing teams around the world how to approach the end user, and I'm talking by myself to the end user all the time. All the time, even more than 6 hours a day.
Right.
And I'm from all over the world. It doesn't matter if it's Japanese through chat, or Lebanese from Lebanon, or Malaysian from Malaysia, or from the UK. I can tell you one thing, that the most important thing is that you will know exactly how to sell simplicity without a lot of, and listen to the client, know his needs and meet his needs. Don't just, because doesn't matter what kind of information you're going to give to the client, it's not relevant.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's
It's never
right.
relevant. What is relevant is the client, is the end user. And what he's looking for is simplicity, and he wants to meet the dream as soon as possible.
Yeah. That's it. That sounds exactly right, and I'm very, I'm very much noticing this as becoming something that is becoming apparent to Forex brokerages and their technology providers as this year is going on. But
Right.
Really nice to speak to you, Karin, and
Thank you
thanks
so
for
much
coming
for
in.
this opportunity as well, Andrew. I wish you the best of luck.
See you soon.
See you.